It wasn't until my 7th year as the mistress of the Dinyuan Marquis Manor that I found out Lu Yuanzi loved someone else. On the day of the difficult labor with the second child, the midwife asked Lu Yuanzi, "Madam is having a difficult labor, save the mother or the child." Lu Yuanzi didn't discuss it with me, and just said decisively, "Save the child." Madam has always loved children the most. She would definitely want to save this baby. I heard it loud and clear inside the delivery room. So after 7 years as husband and wife, our love is as thin as paper. After my daughter was born, I was still hanging on by a thread. Lu Yuanzi came in to see the baby, and I asked him tearfully, "Why save the baby? Don't you love me anymore? I am your wedded wife." Lu Yuanzi looked at me coldly, his eyes full of disgust. "Sheng Wanwan, if it weren't for Piao Piao being afraid of the pain of childbirth, I never would have married you. Now that you are dead, I can fulfill my promise to Piao Piao of a lifetime together as a couple. In this life, I only love her." "Who is Piao Piao?" Before I could ask again, my breath failed me and I died. I died with everlasting regret, my soul drifting above the Marquise's manor, watching Lu Yuanzi lead a delicate woman inside. She held my daughter, who had not been born long ago, her face beaming with joy. "My lord, thank you for letting me become a mother without the pain. Now we finally have both a son and a daughter." My 6-year-old eldest son, Lu Mingyai, looked up and called out to her sweetly, "Mother Piao Piao, you've finally become my real mother." Her mother, in-law Yi, held her affectionately, her face full of care. "Piao Piao, from now on, I'll dote on you like a daughter." Her sister, in-law, and several brothers, in-law also ingratiatingly called her sister, in-law. Not long after, Lu Yuanzi used my dowry to marry a new wife with 3 matchmakers and 6 betrothal gifts. So it turns out my 7 years of hard work for the Marquis Manor was all fed to the dogs. Opening my eyes again, I returned to my wedding night with Lu Yuanzi. Reliving this life, I won't sacrifice anything for this family of ingrates anymore. Avenge grudges, settle scores, torment the scum, then divorce the husband. I absolutely won't let them take even the slightest advantage of me. The red candles on the table had burned down by half before the groom finally entered the bridal chamber. Lu Yuanzi explained to me guiltily, "Wanwan, I drank too much entertaining guests today, so that is why I came late." I lifted the red veil, my tone indifferent. "Since the Marquise is drunk, he should go rest in the study." Hearing this, the dowry maid Kai Wei reminded in surprise. "Miss," I swept a cold glance at her. "When the master speaks, servants shouldn't interrupt." Kai Wei immediately shut her mouth. Lu Yuanzi was also surprised by my attitude. "Wanwan, don't you need me to accompany you?" At this moment, his peach, blossom eyes were gazing at me affectionately. In the last life, I was bewitched by his peach, blossom eyes, mistakenly thinking he fell in love with me at first sight, and that his love was deep and unswerving. Later I realized that men with peach, blossom eyes look at even a dog with deep affection. I smiled faintly. The Marquis and I are in love. Why would we care about being together day and night? Tonight, I won't let him stay to consummate the marriage. And it won't happen in the future either. This bastard will never have the right to touch me. True, I didn't expect Wanwan could write poetry. Lu Yuanzi's gaze revealed a hint of appreciation. He always thought I was a merchant's daughter, and that aside from business and housekeeping, I definitely wouldn't understand poetry. But actually, I know more than he realizes. In the previous life, he had no interest in getting to know me, but in this life, I'll make sure he has no right to get close to me. I urged him to leave. "It is getting late, my lord. You should go rest in the study. I need to retire as well. I have to serve tea to mother-in-law early tomorrow morning." "Okay." Lu Yuanzi gave me a perfunctory glance and left. His retreating figure showed no reluctance, and even seemed relieved of a heavy burden. So his deep affection was just an act all along. I hate that I was blind in both eyes and heart in my past life. In my past life, I was blinded by Lu Yuanzi's facade, mistaking a heartless man for a devoted lover. Now, I know his heart only holds that woman. Lu Piao never loved me one bit. He married me because I was the daughter of the richest man in Yanzhou. He was after the Sheng family's vast fortune. Kai Wei was worried about me. Miss, if you don't share a room with the Marquis on your wedding night, I am afraid it'll be bad for your reputation. I laughed to myself. What is so important about reputation? If we don't sleep together, I won't give birth to Lu Yuanzi's child. Lu Yuanzi isn't worthy of having a child with me. That ingrate Lu Mingyi isn't worthy of being born from my belly either. But I didn't show any emotion on my face. As a wife, one must put one's husband first in everything. Since the Marquis is both tired and drunk, I should let him rest well. There is no need to rush to consummate the marriage. In my last life, while my soul was wandering the Marquis's manor, I heard Lu Yuanzi and Lu Piao talking about our wedding night back then. That night, Lu Yuanzi was afraid Lu Piao would be sad, so he went to sleep with her first before coming to me. He used the smell of alcohol to mask the scent Lu Piao left on him, lying to me that he was drunk. Clueless as I was, I thought he had specially used incense to get rid of the alcohol smell for my sake. And this maid of mine was bought off by my sister, in-law Lu Yinyin, the very next day after I married in, becoming the eyes that watched me. Lu Yinyin and Liu Piao have been friends for years. They are bosom buddies. Liu Piao often stayed overnight at the Marquis's manor under the pretext of visiting Lu Yinyin. In my previous life, Lu Yuanzi often used handling military affairs as an excuse to rest in the study, but he was actually meeting Liu Piao in secret. Every night I spent alone in my empty room. They were having their own fun. After Kai Wei was bought off by Lu Yinyin, my every move in the manor was reported by Lu Yinyin to Liu Piao. That is why for 7 long years I had no idea that Lu Yuanzi and Liu Piao were having an affair. They were cheating right under my nose, plotting against me, tricking me into using all my dowry money to subsidize the livelihood of the Marquis's manor, buy properties for the Lu family, and purchase a dowry for Liu Piao. Since Kai Wei is going to betray me, I plan to beat them at their own game, not alert the snake for now, and catch them all in one fell swoop when the time is right. You go serve in the Marquis's study. If the Marquis has any needs, serve him diligently. I spoke implicitly, and Kai Wei's cheeks instantly flushed red, but she was overjoyed in her heart. She answered, yes, and went to Lu Yuanzi's study. Dowry maids were meant to have the chance to serve the Marquis in the mistress's place. If they could bear a son or daughter, they could be elevated to concubine. The reason she got bought off by Lu Yinyin back then was just because Lu Yinyin made her a big, empty promise, saying she'd persuade her brother to take her as a concubine. In this life, I am going to have Kai Wei deal with Liu Piao to disgust Liu Piao. Since Liu Piao wants to be Lu Yuanzi's one and only for life, I'll make her see with her own eyes Lu Yuanzi surrounded by concubines. I also want Lu Mingyi to be born from a concubine's belly, with no right to inherit the Sheng family's fortune. Kai Wei arrived at Lu Yuanzi's study, went in boldly, looking shy. My lord, madam ordered me to come serve you. No need, get out. Lu Yuanzi had already spent most of his energy on Liu Piao. He had no lust at the moment, let alone for this lowly maid. However, Kai Wei had gone through so much trouble to get this great opportunity. How could she be willing to just leave like this? Besides, the mistress ordered her to come. The food is practically being fed to his lips, so how could he not eat it? Kai Wei agreed verbally, but secretly put aphrodisiac incense in the incense burner. Lu Yuanzi was caught off guard and succumbed very quickly. In the latter half of the night, Lu Yuanzi held Kai Wei, mistaking her for Liu Piao, sleeping with someone else yet affectionately confessing his love to Liu Piao. Piao is so beautiful. I love Piao to death. Kai Wei was stunned. The Marquis actually loved someone else. When he asked to marry the young miss, he said he'd never taken a wife or concubine and swore he'd only love the young miss. Could he have been lying? The point is, who is Piao? Even if she was just a dowry maid, she had long treated the Marquis as her own man. She was possessive and jealous. While Lu Yuanze was lost in the heat of passion, she coyly played hard to get to Fish for information. "My lord, what sort of piao piao is this slave called?" Lu Yuanzi had been drugged. His mind was muddled at this moment, and without thinking, he blurted out the name of his beloved. "Lu Piao Piao, I love only you in this life. I didn't consummate the marriage with Sheng Wanwan tonight. She tried to use a maid to vie for favor, but I rejected her." Lu Yuanze had a night of passion, yet he didn't know that his inner thoughts were all known to Kai Wei. Kai Wei climbed into the Marquise's bed and also coaxed out the schemes between the Marquis and Liu Piao Piao Piao. She made up her mind to stand united with her mistress to deal with that Liu Piao Piao. Fertile water shouldn't flow into outsiders' fields. How can we let Liu Piao Piao become the mistress? I am not interested in knowing whether Kai Wei can successfully climb into bed. Before going to sleep, I bolted the door from the inside to prevent anyone from plotting against me. After washing up, I swept away all the longans, peanuts, and red dates from under the mattress, embroidered with the character for happiness. In this life, I won't have children with Lu Yuanzi, so I have no use for these fruits that symbolize bearing a son early. I lay on the bedding embroidered with mandarin ducks playing in the water, my thoughts a jumbled mess. Thinking back on my ill-fated entanglement with Lu Yuanze in my previous life, I was filled with mixed feelings of regret and hatred. 8 years ago, Lu Yuanze led his troops through Yanzhou on his way to fight at the border. Due to a sudden heavy snowfall, the imperial court couldn't supply provisions in time. So the Sheng family, the richest around, sold off half their family assets to buy provisions and delivered them to the army as a free donation. At that moment, Lu Yuanze was overwhelmingly grateful, saying that once he won the battle, he would definitely repay the Sheng family heavily. Later, after the fighting was over, Lu Yuanze passed through Yanzhou again. The Sheng family hosted a banquet in his honor, and Lu Yuanze saw that the Sheng family's wealth was even greater than he had imagined, the richest in Yanzhou, with wealth rivaling the nation itself. As for him, he was a marquis from a humble background who had earned his title through military merit, and his assets were meager. A wicked thought struck him. He wanted to marry the Sheng family's only daughter to seize their family fortune. That day, my maid and I were on our way back from burning incense and praying at the temple when our carriage was held up by mountain bandits halfway. Lu Yuanze personally led his troops to defeat the bandits. I lifted the carriage curtain and immediately spotted that dashing, handsome, young general. Lu Yuanzi rode his horse forward with a dashing air, acting polite and refined. "Miss, you weren't frightened by the bandits, were you?" Immediately those peach, blossom eyes gazed affectionately at me, wearing an expression that seemed deeply moved by my stunning beauty. Me cheeks flushed, and I curtsied gracefully in return. "Many thanks for saving me, General." Lu Yuanze gave a faint smile. "I am Lu Yuanze, the Marquis of Dingyuan. Protecting the peace of the nation is my duty." "So you are the Marquis of Dingyuan. I have long heard of your prowess, my lord. Meeting you today, I see your reputation is well deserved. Where does the young lady live? Would you like me to escort you back?" Lu Yuanzi pretended not to recognize me. I happily introduced myself and my family. "I am Sheng Wanwan, the legitimate daughter of the Sheng family. My father is Sheng Chang'an, and my home is the Sheng Manor in the east of the city." Upon hearing this, Lu Yuanze instantly showed a look of pleasant surprise, cupping his fists to bow respectfully to me. "So you are Miss Sheng. It was thanks to the Sheng family funding our army's provisions that we were able to win the war. I never expected to be able to repay the favor in some small way today. Let me escort you back to your manor, miss." "Thank you." I was afraid the mountain bandits might return, so I agreed. Lu Yuanze escorted me on horseback, and the journey was peaceful. Along the way, he would occasionally tell me about the perils of killing enemies on the battlefield and the meritorious deeds he had achieved. Having never traveled far from home, I suddenly felt a surge of admiration for this young and heroic marquis. After Lu Yuanze escorted me back to the manor, my father learned that he had saved me and wanted to offer a heavy reward in return. Unexpectedly, Lu Yuanze refused the reward and suddenly knelt on the ground to ask for my hand in marriage. "Squire Sheng, if you truly wish to repay me, would you be willing to marry Miss Sheng to me? Although I am already 25, I have not yet taken a wife, nor do I even have a concubine or a bedwarmer. The moment I saw Miss Sheng just now, I felt as if I'd known her forever. I want to marry Miss Sheng, and in the future, I will petition for her to be a lady of the mandate. I ask Squire Sheng to grant my wish." My dad quickly stepped forward to help him up. "Marquise Dingyuan, please get up. Our families are not of equal standing. It really isn't suitable for us to form a marriage alliance." I acted reserved too. "Your lordship is of noble status, while I am merely a merchant's daughter. I am not worthy of your lordship." Lu Yuanzi continued to say moving words. "My Lu family doesn't care about social standing. The Sheng family showed me kindness first, and today I happen to save Miss Sheng. It is truly a match made by heaven. Miss Sheng, don't sell yourself short. In the future, once you marry me, you'll be the mistress of the Lu family, and your status will be different. I'll use my merits to request a title for you, and no noble lady in the capital will dare look down on you." Seeing I was still hesitating, Lu Yuanzi swore a solemn oath, his voice ringing with conviction. "I, Lu Yuanzi, love only Sheng Wanwan in this life. I will never take a concubine after marriage, just the two of us for a lifetime. If I break this oath, may I die by 10,000 arrows piercing my heart?" My dad was worried. The capital is thousands of miles from Yanzhou. If you husband and wife don't get along in the future, I won't be able to protect Wanwan. Lu Yuanze enticed him with benefits. "Master Sheng, if this marquis marries Wanwan, I will surely guarantee the Sheng family generations of wealth, and no one will dare to bully the Sheng family." The Daxing kingdom favored agriculture over commerce, and the status of merchants was lower than that of farmers. The borders were also constantly in turmoil, with wealthy merchants often being killed. My shrewd father was tempted, and my maiden heart was also moved by Lu Yuanzi's vows. Later, father gave a dowry of 200 loads. 10 miles of red trousseau, the legitimate daughter of the Sheng family, was married off to the capital in grand style. In my past life, after marrying into the Lu family, seeing the Dingyuan Marquis manor was destitute, I generously used my dowry to subsidize household expenses. I not only renovated the mansion but also spent a fortune hiring a miracle doctor to treat my seriously ill mother-in-law. I sent my sister-in-law to a school for noble ladies to learn etiquette. I called in favors to send my 2 brothers-in-law to the Imperial College to study, urging them to study hard and strive for official rank. I didn't expect that, after I died, every single one of them would clap and cheer. Early the next morning, the sound of Lu Yuanzi's angry cursing came from the courtyard. "You lowly wench! How dare you climb into this marquise's bed? Get the hell out! My lord, I have come to serve you on the mistress's orders." Kaiwei sobbed and wept, feeling wronged, but she still got kicked out. Then she was taken away by people her mother-in-law, Madame Yi, had called. A dowry maid climbing the marquise's bed was supposed to be handled by the new mistress, yet they bypassed me. It must be that Liu Piopia was flustered and furious, wanting to use someone else's hand to punish Kaiwei. I washed and dressed, made myself presentable, and went out. Relying on the memories of my past life, I went straight to Mother Lu's Shukang Hall. Lady Yi was furiously interrogating Kaiwei. "Speak. Who gave you the guts to climb the marquise's bed?" Kaiwei knelt on the ground, not scared at all, acting bold and confident. "Old madam, it was the mistress who ordered me to attend to the marquis." Lu Yuanzi's sister, Lu Yinyin, interjected. "How is that possible? Last night was my big brother's wedding night. Why would sister-in-law ask a maid to serve in her place?" Lu Piao, who looked like she was just watching the drama from the side, also spoke up to pass judgment. "Old madam, this maid just lacks discipline. She is audacious enough to steal her master's wedding night. She should be beaten to death." As her voice faded, I had already stepped inside calmly. My sharp gaze swept over her. "Who is this young lady?" Being scrutinized by my cold gaze, Liu Piao felt guilty and didn't dare to look me in the eye. Lu Yinyin stepped in to answer for her first. "Sister-in-law. She is my bosom friend, the daughter of the Vice Minister of Revenue." Actually, Liu Piao was only the concubine, born daughter of the Vice Minister of Revenue. Lu Yinyin said this to make her look better. There is a distinction between legitimate and concubine. Born, a difference of one word means a vast difference in status. But other noble ladies in the capital all looked down on Lu Yinyin. Only Liu Piao was willing to be friends with her. She treated Liu Piao as a best friend. Madame Yi was worried Liu Piao would be exposed, so she immediately turned to question me. "Sheng, did you send this maid to Yuanzi's bed last night?" "Yes, last night the Marquis said he was drunk, so I ordered a maid to go to the study to serve him. A dowry maid is naturally qualified to serve the Marquis. So what wrong is there?" My gaze turned to Liu Piao again, and I smiled contemptuously. "This young lady, you are not yet married, yet you come to listen in on other people's family affairs. That shows a lack of upbringing. Please leave." Liu Piao is not an outsider. She and I are like sisters. Lu Yinyin loudly defended. Hearing this, Kaiwei, kneeling on the ground, was even more surprised than me. Her gaze towards Liu Piao filled with jealousy and hatred. "So, this is the Marquise's sweetheart, Liu Piao. Her looks aren't even half of our misses, but her figure is like a fragile willow, easily making men feel pity." "Mistress." Kaiwei was about to say something, but I immediately cut her off. "Shut up. When the master is speaking, servants are not allowed to interrupt. Otherwise, even I won't be able to protect you." Kaiwei felt a warmth in her heart, and with reddened eyes, she nodded in agreement. Liu Piao still didn't know that Lu Yuanzi had already exposed her. Relying on Lady Ye and Lu Yinyin's protection, she stepped forward self-righteously and gave me some snide advice. "Young madam is too lenient with the servants. I fear it will ruin the Dingyuan Marquis Manor's reputation." I sneered. If the Marquis's manor had any rules, they wouldn't let an unmarried sister-in-law meddle in the Marquis's bedroom affairs, much less let her best friend listen in while the mistress manages the household. If word got out, no one would dare marry either of you, right? As soon as these words came out, Lu Yinyin and Liu Piao instantly choked. Their expressions went stiff. Yeshi was really afraid right now that this would affect Lu Yinyin's ability to get married in the future, so she ordered, "You two go out." The two of them left the main hall reluctantly. Madame Yi was preparing to torment me. She put on the stern face of an elder to lecture me. "Sheng, if it weren't that Yuanzi has his heart set on you, a merchant's daughter like you would have no right to marry into the Marquis manor." I smiled calmly, responding to this wicked mother-in-law neither humbly nor arrogantly. "Please confirm this with the Marquis yourself. He doesn't just fancy me. He knelt at my family's front gate and swore that once I enter the household, I'll no longer be a merchant's daughter, but the mistress of the Marquis's manor. He won't let anyone look down on me, and he even intends to use his merits to petition for a title for me." I raised my voice, certain that Liu Piao, who had just walked away, could hear every word. Sure enough, hearing this, Liu Piao outside the door trembled, and her eyes instantly reddened. Yinyin, seeing her looking so wronged, Lu Yinyin immediately felt her heart ache and comforted her. Piao, don't worry. My big brother only loves you. Even if he said those things, he was just lying to Sheng Wanwan. Once she gives birth to children and our Lu family takes over all the Sheng family's assets, my brother will divorce her." I know." Liu Piao felt a bit more relieved. As long as she kept the Lu family under control, everything Sheng Wanwan had would be hers in the future. The two of them had only taken a few steps when they ran into Lu Yuanzi, who had hurried over after washing up. Liu Piao looked at him with a look of grievance, appearing as if her heart had been thoroughly broken. Piao, it is not what you think. I was drunk, and that is how that maid got her way with me." Lu Yuanzi explained to her urgently. Liu Piaopiao knew that arguing with him now would affect her long-term plans, so she choked back sobs while acting magnanimous. I understand everything, Marquis. Please remember, you must never let a maidservant serve you closely again. I promise. Rest assured, Piao. I only love you. Lu Yuanzi wished he could cut his heart out to prove his loyalty. Inside the hall, my mother-in-law was already burning with rage because of my words. She slammed the table and scolded me. Sheng, as a new bride. Is this how you speak to your mother-in-law? As expected of someone from a merchant family, you have absolutely no manners. Huh. Everyone knows I am a new bride, yet you went over my head to deal with my dowry maid. Who is the one who actually doesn't know the rules? I wasn't afraid to flip the table. Having lived a second life, I was here for revenge. Anyway, there was no need to pretend to be a filial daughter. In-law, she doesn't deserve it. Since I've had a falling out with my mother-in-law, there is no need to pay morning and evening respects anymore. Lu Yuanzi heard what I said and entered the room with a face full of anger. Wanwan, how can you speak to mother like that? Lu Yuanzi, your mother scolded me for being a merchant's daughter, unworthy of marrying into the Marquise's residence. Why don't you just send me back to Yanzhou, my lord? It wasn't me who begged to marry into the Lu family back then. It was you who knelt on the ground begging to marry me. Since mother-in-law dislikes me, we might as well get a divorce today and go our separate ways. I looked at him, with not a shred of emotion in my eyes. Lu Yuanzi didn't expect my temperament to change so suddenly. Back in Yanzhou, ever since he begged to marry me, whenever I looked at him, my eyes were filled with the deep affection of a young girl in love. At this moment, he saw that the depths of my eyes were calm without a ripple, with no lingering affection, as if looking at a stranger. He was surprised, but didn't have the mind to dwell on it. Divorcing his wife on the second day of marriage. If the censors found out, it would do him more harm than good. Besides, he hadn't gotten his hands on most of my dowry yet. Father bought me many shops in the capital, and the land and property deeds are all stored at the Sheng family's bank in the capital. If we had a falling out now, it wouldn't do him any good. He signaled Yi Shi with his eyes. Mrs. Yi knew that now was not the time to argue with me further, so she held back the words she hadn't yet spoken. Lu Yuanzi gave Mrs. Yi a way out. Mother, Wanwan married from afar and doesn't know the rules of the household yet. Please, for my sake, let her off this time. Fine, for your sake. I'll forgive her this once. You spoil her way too much. Wanwan mother forgives you. Lu Yuanzi looked to me for credit. Too lazy to watch you mother and son act. I sneered. If there is nothing else, I am going back to my room. After saying that, I didn't wait for their response and walked out. They also forgot about the matter of the new bride serving tea. There were no maids preparing tea in the first place. It was Lu Yuanzi's first time taking a wife, yet he didn't prepare anything with care. It was a scam marriage to begin with, so they didn't care about these formalities. Having experienced rebirth, I took a deep breath. I don't love him anymore, so I see everything clearly. Just as they wanted to deal with the kneeling Kaiwei, I turned around and scolded. Kaiwei, are you dead? Hurry up and come serve me my meal. Yes, Kaiwei followed out as if granted amnesty. Seeing us walk far away, Madame Yi asked Lu Yuanzi doubtfully. Son, does Madame Sheng know something? She shouldn't know, right? I didn't share a room with her last night. Lu Yuanzi looked confident. She has been pampered since she was little. She is innocent and doesn't understand the affairs of the inner courtyard. That is good. Mrs. Yi still urged. Once we've swindled her family fortune into our hands. Divorce her. A merchant's daughter is an eyesore to look at. Mother, rest assured. After Sheng Wanwan gives birth to the child, I will act as soon as possible. What Lu Yuanzi had in mind was killing me, not divorcing his wife. Miss, I have something urgent to tell you. That Liu Piao. Kaiwei stepped forward quickly, eager to tip me off. It seems her climbing into Lu Yuanzi's bed last night actually amounted to something. Save your grievances for when we get back to Xuan. I raised my hand to interrupt her. Because of what happened this morning, I reckon the Liu family will be on guard against me. Kaiwei nodded and shut her mouth. I went straight to the kitchen to find something to eat. I needed a full stomach to properly torment the scum. When the cook saw me coming, she hurriedly put down her bowl and chopsticks. Young madam is here. No one came to pick up the meal all morning, so this servant went ahead and ate. Seeing the sumptuous spread on the table, I simply sat down. No need to send it anymore. From now on, I'll come to the kitchen to eat. Hearing this, the cook was taken aback and smiled awkwardly. The kitchen is dirty and messy. Wouldn't want to soil young madam's robes, I said calmly. I just want to eat hot food. Having people send it is a hassle. And who knows, maybe someone is even poisoning the food to harm me. The cook was stunned. This is the Marquise's manner. Who would dare harm young madam? I laughed inwardly. You would dare, in my past life. I knew this cook was a greedy one, and I had even punished her. Later, she colluded with Liu Piao to tamper with my food and take revenge on me. She drugged me, resulting in a difficult labor for my second child. Petty people are narrow-minded. In this life, I will also use this petty person's hand to kill Liu Piao. I took out a piece of 2-tael silver and gave it to her, enticing her with profit. Please take extra care with my meals from now on. Cook. Thank you for the reward, young madam. The cook took the silver, grinning from ear to ear, and hastily fawned over me. Young madam, wait a moment. I'll get you clean bowls and chopsticks, and stir. Fry 2 fresh hot dishes. I nodded, glancing at Kaiwei. What are you still standing there for? Hurry up and help with the cooking, Kaiwei assented, and went to help out reluctantly. The cook then plucked up the courage to order her to do this and that. Letting a bad person deal with a bad person is the most suitable way. I ate a sumptuous breakfast and returned to the west courtyard to dress up, preparing to leave the manor to handle some business. When Kaiwei was helping me with my makeup, she quietly tattled to me in detail about Liu Yuanze hugging her last night, while calling out Liu Piao's name. Miss, the Marquise is unfaithful. The one he loves is Liu Piao. You must be careful. I sighed lightly. Men are all lustful, let alone the Marquise is in his prime. Since I have become the mistress, naturally I cannot be jealous. In the future, if the Marquis wants to take concubines, I will arrange for you to be a concubine first. I inadvertently painted a big pie for her. Kaiwei thought it smelled delicious and hurriedly thanked me for the favor. Just as I was about to go out, Liu Yuanze entered the courtyard. He dismissed Kaiwei to speak with me privately. Wan, from now on, you are not allowed to arrange for maids to climb into my bed again. I only want to have children with you. If the Marquise didn't have a need for relief, a maid climbing into his bed wouldn't have succeeded, right? Wan, you arranged last night, and now you actually blame me. No, I was actually planning to promote Kaiwei to be a concubine. I haven't been feeling well these past few days, so having someone help me take care of the Marquis couldn't be better. I don't want a maid too lowly. I am not in a hurry to consummate the marriage with you. I'll come keep you company when your body is better. Marquise, since you've slept with her, you must take responsibility. Kaiwei is my dowry maid. You must give her a status. Otherwise, as the mistress, I won't be able to establish authority in the Marquise's manor. Or maybe we should just divorce. Liu Yuanze compromised helplessly. Suit yourself, but I won't ever touch her again. Changing the subject, he asked calculatingly. By the way, I am still on my day off today. Do you want me to accompany you to get those house and land deeds? I refused coldly. No rush. Our Shang family's bank only recognizes me. You go do your proper business, Marquis. Liu Yuanzi had no choice but to go about his own business. I went to the Shang family's bank in the capital, spoke to the manager about the Liu manor, gave some instructions, and came back. Not long after, The wife of the vice minister of revenue brought several older female servants to the Liu family to find Liu Piao. Madame Liu's expression was cold and stern. Madame Liu, this wretched girl actually dared to stay out all night. I am taking her back to discipline her with the family rules. Liu Piao made excuses. Mother, I have always been close with Miss Yin Yin. Last night she insisted I stay over, so I didn't return to the manor. Kai Wei chimed in with a timely reminder. Madame Liu had better check her virginity. A girl who stays out all night might have already been deflowered. Madame Liu was furious upon hearing this. I absolutely must have her examined. If she has been defiled, I'll sell this slut off to a farmer. Madame Liu ordered several matrons to drag Liu Piao away immediately. Old madam, save me. Miss Liu, save me, Marquis, save me. Liu Piao cried, begging the Liu family for help. Liu Yuanzhe dared not show himself. Seeing how much Liu Piao was disliked by her legitimate mother, old Madame Liu and Liu Yinyin immediately abandoned her. Miss Liu, your mother is right to discipline you. You should go back. I've already given my body to Marquis Liu. He promised to marry me. Liu Piao decided to throw caution to the wind and cast aside her dignity. This slut, I naturally plan to keep her here and torment her properly. I spoke up. The Marquis never mentioned this to me. Why don't you, Mrs. Liu, inspect her body right here in the side room? Soon, the old woman from the Liu family examined Liu Piao's body and informed Madame Liu. Liu Piao has been deflowered. This slut. Madame Liu immediately had the old woman beat Liu Piao half to death. This time, Mother Liu and Liu Yinyin didn't step in to defend her. Liu Yuanzhe rushed over upon hearing the news. Marquis, save me. Liu Piao cried tearfully, begging Liu Yuanzhe for help. Liu Yuanzhe's heart ached terribly. He immediately stepped forward to shield Liu Piao and knelt before Madame Liu. Madame Liu, Miss Liu indeed lost her chastity to this Marquis, and this Marquis is willing to take responsibility for her. It seems this man's knees were always easy to bend. I smiled coldly. If that is truly the case, then let the Marquis take her as a concubine. An unmarried girl who has been deflowered would only disgrace the family name if Madame Liu took her back. Madame Liu's brows relaxed a little. This little slut has caused you trouble. If she doesn't obey your discipline in the future, you may beat, scold, or sell her. She also had the old woman give Liu Piao a harsh beating and scolding before leaving. From today on, Kai Wei and Liu Piao are both the Marquis's concubines. Move into the side rooms on either side of the west courtyard. As soon as I said this, no one dared to voice an opinion. That very day, both of them served me tea and performed the rites of a concubine. Liu Piao was extremely unwilling, while Kai Wei was overjoyed. Liu Yuanzhe's emotions were complicated. He just felt he owed Liu Piao a great deal. He wanted to say something, but seeing my stern and cold expression, he ultimately didn't dare to open his mouth. I finished my tea and gave a faint order. Kai Wei is a dowry maid, so becoming a concubine is more legitimate for her than for Liu Piao. She is a rank above her. From now on, her monthly allowance will be 2 taels of silver more. Hearing this, Liu Piao bit her lip, enduring it silently. I spoke again. I am not feeling well. Kai Wei can serve the Marquis tonight. That night, Liu Yuanzhe went to Kai Wei's room for the first half of the night, and to Liu Piao's place for the second half. Liu Piao wept and wailed. Marquis Sheng Wanwan making me a concubine is a deliberate attempt to humiliate me. Piao endure it for the time being. Once I get the Sheng family assets, I will raise you to be the legal wife. I will never let you down. Liu Yuanzhe affectionately comforted his beloved. That is good then. As long as the Marquis has me in his heart, I am willing to wait for that day. Liu Piao waited on him with tears in her eyes, making Liu Yuanzhe feel even more pity and affection for her. Ever since Kai Wei became a concubine, relying on me, the mistress of the house, as her backer, she often bickered and cursed at Liu Piao. I sat on the mountain watching the tigers fight, cracking melon seeds as I watched the show. Slut. You became a concubine without a matchmaker or betrothal gifts. You moaned so loud at night, keeping people from sleeping. You cheap maid, you climbed into the marquise's bed. So what face do you have to scold me? I am the mistress's dowry maid, and the mistress allowed me to become a concubine. But you, an official's daughter, secretly giving yourself to a man. You have no shame, you stinking maid. The marquise is disgusted by your smelly feet. He doesn't even want to go to your room. The marquis likes you, but you are still just a concubine in the end, never higher than our mistress. Hehe. A mistress the marquise doesn't like counts as a. Lu Piao still wanted to curse, but seeing 4 newly bought maids escorting me out of the wing room with an imposing aura, she forcibly swallowed the other half of her sentence. What does that count as? Keep talking. I sneered at her. She didn't dare speak anymore, turning around and fleeing with her tail between her legs. A few days later, Lu Yuanzi came to my room asking to consummate our marriage. Wan, is your body better now? That bastard. What right does he have to touch me? If it weren't to take revenge on his whole family, I would have left long ago. My body has recovered, but my mood hasn't. My lord, you said you would love only me for a lifetime. I didn't expect that you and Miss Liu had hooked up in private long ago, so Wan still holds a grudge against me. You don't know, but Liu Piao did me a kindness. Lu Yuan suddenly told me a story. When I was 15, my family was destitute, and I wandered the streets, nearly starving to death. It was a young lady from an official's family who ordered someone to give me a steamed bun and 2 taels of silver, allowing me to survive the ordeal. If it were anyone else's story, I probably would have been moved. But when Lu Yuanzi spoke of this past, I just chuckled coldly in my heart. On what grounds do you use my life and family property to repay the kindness you owe someone else? Only after I died did I learn the truth of why Lu Yuanzi was so deeply rooted in love with Liu Piao. Lu Yuanzi had always mistakenly believed that the person who helped him back then was Liu Piao. Actually, the person who gave him the silver was Liu Piao's legitimate elder sister, Liu Qingqing. This was in the previous life, after Liu Piao became the mistress of the Marquis Manor, and Liu Qingqing came to the Liu residence as a guest. Mother Liu unintentionally mentioned the past events, and only then did Liu Qingqing realize why Liu Piao, her concubine-born sister, was married by Lu Yuanzi with the Grand 8-bearer sedan chair as his second wife. When leaving the Marquise's residence, her personal maid felt indignant on her behalf. Eldest Miss, it was clearly you who gave those 2 taels of silver to Lu Yuanzi back then. At that time, Second Miss was riding in the same carriage as you, and she even mocked that little beggar for being lowly. Who would have thought Liu Piao would end up falsely claiming the credit? And now she has even become the Marchioness. It is just too much. Sisters are one, now that we have each married. There is no need to fuss over it. Liu Qingqing said with disdain. Marquise Lu's first wife died in childbirth. He married Liu Piao as his lawful wife less than half a year after losing his wife, and he even seized the Sheng family's assets. His heart is vicious. He doesn't deserve me at all. If I had known this, I should have just watched him starve to death back then. In this life, I plan to let Lu Yuanzi know about this matter at the appropriate time. After listening to the story, I asked Lu Yuanzi, since Liu Piao did you a favor, why didn't you marry her before? Why let it get to the point where I've married over? And now you are forced to take her as a concubine. Lu Yuanzi lied against his conscience. Wan, you and I are in love, while with Liu Piao's gratitude. I got drunk on our wedding day and mistook the person, which is why I had relations with Liu Piao. That was not my intention. I sneered in my heart. He really takes me for a fool. In my past life, I died in childbirth. In this life, I want them all to suffer this retribution. My lord, a woman giving birth is like stepping through the gates of hell. I am still young and plan to wait a few years before giving birth. You should let the 2 concubines have children first. I will treat them as my own. Lu Yuanzi hesitated for a moment, then agreed. From then on, Liu Yuanzi often switched between sleeping in Kai Wei and Liu Piaopiao's rooms. Liu Piaopiao was afraid of getting pregnant, so Liu Yuanzi specifically bought contraceptive soup medicine for her from outside, lying to me that it was a tonic to nourish the fetus, because I went to the kitchen to eat every day. When the cook was brewing the medicine, I gave her silver to swap the ingredients for real fetal preservation medicine. This fetal protection medicine is the prescription I asked the doctor to write for Kai Wei to stabilize her pregnancy. Every time, the cook brews 2 bowls, one for Kai Wei and one for Liu Piaopiao. Within just 2 months, both Kai Wei and Liu Piaopiao were diagnosed as pregnant. Kai Wei was delighted, but Liu Piaopiao flew into a rage, scolding the cook. "Did you secretly switch my medicine?" The cook retorted, "Heaven is my witness. You, just like concubine Kai Wei, only stabilized your pregnancy after drinking the fetal protection medicine. Now you actually blame me for taking too good care of you. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning?" I came upon hearing the news, solely to back up the cook. "Concubine Liu, I, the mistress, allowed you to carry a child. Instead of properly spreading the family line for the marquis, do you intend to intentionally miscarry? If you dare continue making a scene in the marquise's manor, I will have no choice but to sell you off to a brothel." Hearing this, Liu Piaopiao didn't dare talk back and went back to the side room in a huff. Later, she tried to find ways to induce a miscarriage, but I bought 2 new maids to keep a close watch on her, determined to make her experience the pain of childbirth. I also ordered the cook to make nourishing meals for them every single day. The 2 concubines' bellies grew bigger and bigger from the feeding. I forbade them from walking around. If they could lie down, I wouldn't let them sit, and I even had the maids feed them. The 2 concubines were fattened up until they were round and plump, as fat as pigs. Liu Yuanzi gradually lost interest in them and wanted to come sleep with me. I claimed my pent-up anger hadn't subsided, saying I'd wait until the 2 concubines gave birth before dealing with him. The next day, I promoted 5 restless maids to serve as Liu Yuanzi's chambermaids. I fed these maids big promises, telling them if they served the marquis well, they'd get silver rewards and could even become concubines. These chambermaids immediately used every trick in the book to seduce Liu Yuanzi. Liu Yuanzi quickly indulged in it and couldn't be bothered to go see the 2 pregnant women anymore. Liu Piaopiao washed her face with tears every day, cursing Liu Yuanzi. "You heartless man. You broke your vows. You will surely suffer heaven's wrath." I didn't need to lift a finger. Mother Liu personally slapped her several times. "If you dare make a scene again, I'll tear your filthy mouth apart." Liu Yinyin also despised her. "You poisonous woman, if you dare curse my big brother again, I'll have you sold off." Because Liu Piaopiao had willingly disgraced herself, the Liu family had long since severed ties with her. Now her very life is in the hands of the Liu family, cheap as dirt, regretting the past. After I quarreled with Mother Liu, I never went to pay my respects to her. In this life, I won't indulge this family. She was seriously ill. I stood by and watched, only letting the 2 concubines go to attend to her illness. My sister-in-law didn't love learning noble ladies' etiquette, so I wouldn't send her to the noble ladies' school again. Me too brothers-in-law didn't love studying, so I didn't beg anyone to send them to the Imperial College either. They were all very happy being good. For nothings. Liu Yuanzi was busy with military affairs and had no time to manage them. Today, a censor impeached him for favoring concubines over his wife, taking 2 concubines right after marrying a new wife, and even letting the concubines get pregnant first, a lack of virtue. The emperor fined him a year's salary. The Marquis Manor's livelihood grew more strained by the day. They didn't even have money to buy new clothes for the new year. Mother Liu couldn't hold back and wanted to scheme for my dowry to subsidize the household. She came specially to the West Courtyard to discuss it with me. "Wan, you've been married into our Liu family for some time. Now that you see both concubines are pregnant, can you take out some silver to renovate the residence and buy clothes for everyone in the household? Otherwise, our whole household will lose face." Also, Lu Yuanzi needs silver to grease palms up and down the officialdom. As his lawful wife, you must share his burdens. Old hag. She calls me Shang-Shi when scolding me, but calls me Wan when scheming against me. I pretended to be troubled. My father found out Lu Yuanzi took concubines, so he kept all the valuable dowry at the money house, saying he'd give it to me after 3 years. Have to wait 3 years? Mother Lu looked disappointed. I nodded. If Mother isn't satisfied with waiting 3 years, I can ask to leave the marriage myself. Mother Lu weighed the pros and cons, gritted her teeth. 3 years isn't impossible to wait. She sold off her own jewelry and the Lu family's assets, barely scraping by to cover the household expenses. I had my own private stash of silver, so I'd just toss a bit to the cook and get to eat good meals all by myself every day. Mother Lu and Lu Yinyin didn't know the truth, so they skimped and saved every day. Before long, they looked sallow and haggard from all the toil. Lu Yinyin's coming of age ceremony was held so shabbily that even half a year later, no one had come to propose marriage. At the end of the year, both concubines went into labor on the same day. To save money, Mother Lu hired an unknown midwife to deliver the babies. They were giving birth in the same room, screaming their heads off in pain. The midwife scolded, "You are only 3 fingers dilated. Stop howling. Save your strength for the birth." Mother Lu also cursed, "Every woman hurts when giving birth. You'll be fine once it is out." Before long, the midwife came out to report. Both mothers are having a difficult birth. The babies are in the wrong position and their heads are big. Should we save the mothers or the children? Mother Lu didn't hesitate. Save the children, not the mothers. We spent all this silver raising them for a year if they can't produce heirs for the Lu family. It was all a waste. But Lu Yuanzi asked me, Wan, should we save the mothers or the children? I said indifferently. I'll listen to mother-in-law. Hearing this, Liu Piao started screaming curses from the delivery room. Lu Yuanzi, you heartless bastard. I wasted my kindness feeding you back then. If I hadn't given you those 2 taels of silver, your whole family would be dead by now. Lu Yuanzi felt a twinge of guilt and told the midwife, "For concubine Liu, save the mother. At least you still have some heart." Liu Piao finally breathed a sigh of relief. No sooner had the words fallen than a servant came to report. "Eldest Miss Liu is here." Liu Piao thought her legitimate older sister had come to back her up and was overjoyed. "Quickly invite my sister in." Liu Qingqing was ushered to the outside of the delivery room, her tone distant. "I heard you were having a difficult labor. For the sake of our sisterhood, I came to see you. Sister, save me. Just now the Liu family wanted to keep the child and get rid of the mother." Liu Qingqing reprimanded her. "Who told you to cheapen yourself? Having an illicit affair with Marquise Liu without a matchmaker or betrothal gifts? You deserve to end up like this. After the officials impeached us, the whole world knows the Liu family fails to raise its daughters strictly, to the point that I and all the legitimate daughters of the Liu clan have to marry beneath our station." Having failed to marry well herself, she also harbored resentment toward Liu Piao in her heart. Lu Yuanzi saw Lu Qing for the first time and felt a sense of familiarity. "Miss Liu, 10 years ago, was it you who gave me steamed buns and 2 taels of silver? Back then you were sitting in a carriage and I only saw your side profile." "It was indeed me. I didn't expect you to be such an ungrateful wretch. Not only did you seduce my concubine, born sister, and force her to be a concubine, but you also ruined the reputation of my Liu family, making it difficult for the legitimate daughters to marry." The Liu family was stunned. "So you are actually our family's benefactor." Lu Yuanzi felt a pang in his heart. He hadn't expected to be deceived by Liu Piao for so many years. "You sisters look alike." Back then, it was Liu Piao herself, who came to make herself known to me, saying she was the one who saved me. Liu Qingqing sneered, "This bitch is all sweet talk at home. I never expected her to impersonate me to seduce you. When I offered you money, she stopped me, saying there was no need to be kind to a beggar. Now, what a joke. Do as you please." After Lu Qingqing left, Lu Yuan's was seething with hatred. Lu Piaopiao, you deceived me so miserably. I could have taken the legitimate daughter of the Vice Minister of Revenue as my wife. It was all because you impersonated her that I missed out on a good match. He spoke his mind, completely disregarding that I was right there. It seems that in his heart, a merchant's daughter like me is even lowlier than Liu Piaopiao. Liu Piaopiao quibbled. I am sincere about Marquis Lu. I only falsely claimed it because I love you. Mother Lu also hated Liu Piaopiao for causing her son to lose a good marriage prospect and immediately wanted to kill her. She ordered the midwife. For concubine Liu's birth, save the child, not the mother. The midwife confirmed with Lu Yuanzi again. My lord, for concubine Liu's birth, do we save the child or the mother? Lu Yuanzi said decisively, let auntie go in peace. Mother and child are both in danger. This wretched woman has no right to bear my child. Inside the delivery room, Liu Piaopiao cursed Lu Yuanzi to die an early death. Not long after, 2 lives were lost in one body. Kai Wei took just one look at the child after he was born before breathing her last. The midwife carried the child out. Congratulations, Lord Marquis. It is a little young master. Lu Yuanzi held the child out to me. Wan, from now on, I am leaving this child to you to raise. This child's face is exactly the same as Lu Mingyi's when he was born in the previous life. A child born of a maid. What right does he have to be raised by me? I smiled coldly. Lu Yuanzi's face suddenly changed. Back then, it was you who let the concubine get pregnant. I allowed you two to have it. I didn't say I would raise it myself. It is not my child. What does it have to do with me? It was time to lay my cards on the table and leave. Lu Yuanzi suddenly realized. Wan, are you deliberately taking revenge on me? I smiled. Yes, I am here just to take revenge on you. In the previous life, you tricked me into marriage, caused my miserable death, and enjoyed glory and wealth. In this life, I want you to have absolutely nothing. You vicious woman, I am going to divorce you. Lu Yuanzi cursed angrily. Lu Yuanzi, you have no right to divorce me. Instead, I am divorcing you. I took out a letter divorcing my husband that I had written in advance. Lu Yuanzi took it and looked, his hands trembling. Lu Yuanzi married under false pretenses, doted on a concubine, and destroyed his wife. We grant this. Seeing the emperor's comments and the stamp of the imperial jade seal, Lu Yuanzi was shocked and puzzled. Why would the emperor help you? I laughed at him disdainfully. You don't know, do you? The Shang family have been imperial merchants for 3 generations. How would a brute like you know that? In the previous life, because I bore him 2 children, Lu Yuanzi openly and rightfully took over the Shang family's fortune, relying on his sons to elevate his status. In this life, I didn't bear his children, so the Lu family shouldn't even dream of touching a single cent of the Shang family's assets. With the husband, divorcing letter stamped with the imperial seal in hand, the Lu family watched helplessly as the Jinyue came to help me move out the dowry kept at the Lu house. Gold inlaid jade screens, vanity tables, and canopy beds made of golden namu, and various gold-rimmed boxes. I carried a box out, and when I accidentally opened one, jewels of all colors rolled all over the ground. 6 luminous pearls the size of goose eggs were particularly striking. The Jinyue helped me pick them up one by one, while the Lu family could only watch with envy. Mother Lu was overcome with pent-up frustration and immediately fainted from regret. Lu Yinyin and several younger brothers knelt on the ground begging me, Sister-in-law, don't go. We can't bear to let you go. Lu Yuanzi also knelt down. Wan, I was wrong. Give me a chance to make amends, okay? I glanced at them with disdain. I have already divorced my husband. You have nothing to do with me anymore. We part ways here, never to meet again. Not long after, I heard that the Lu family was so poor they couldn't even put food on the table and had to borrow money from their clansmen just to keep up appearances. Samanon spread rumors outside that when the Lu family's 2 concubines gave birth, Lu Yuanzi chose to keep the children and get rid of the mothers in both cases. It scared the mistress, Shang Wanwan, into divorcing her husband, and running far away that very same day. The Liu family's vicious reputation spread far and wide, to the point that no noble ladies were willing to marry Liu Yuanzhe anymore, and no one came asking for Liu Yinyan's hand either. To pay off his debts, Liu Yuanzhe wanted to ask for a reward based on military merit, so he volunteered to go fight the Barong Kingdom and expand the territory for the emperor. Eager to earn merit, he underestimated the enemy and advanced rashly, stumbling into an ambush and dying with 10,000 arrows piercing his heart. The moment he died, several unfamiliar scenes flashed through his mind, as if there was a past life where he betrayed Sheng Wanwan, conspired with Liu Piaopiao to plot her death during the difficult birth of her second child, seized her dowry and the Sheng family property, and lived a harmonious life with Liu Piaopiao, while Sheng Wanwan's soul floated above the Liu house, watching all of this with resentment. So, in this life, he deserved what happened to him. Liu Yuanzhe suddenly remembered the oath he had sworn. I, Liu Yuanzhe, will only love Sheng Wanwan in this life. I will not take concubines after marriage. Just the two of us for a lifetime. If I break this oath, may I die by 10,000 arrows piercing my heart. Sure enough, it came true. After Liu Yuanzhe died, the emperor held him accountable for the military defeat that harmed the nation. Not only was his title stripped, but the Liu clan was also raided. The two good-for-nothing younger brothers both became street vagrants, and Liu Yinyan was sold by them into a brothel as a prostitute. 7 years later, Mother Liu took Liu Mingyi begging on the streets, frequently getting spurned and cursed at by passers-by. Stinking beggar, get lost. Grandmother, why are we so lowly? Liu Mingyi was unwilling to accept this. Ye, who had cried until she went blind in one eye, lamented, your father was a marquis before, but he was deceived by that vile woman, Liu Piaopiao. You were supposed to be born from the womb of the eldest daughter of the Sheng family, but you were reincarnated into the womb of a maidservant who was part of your dowry. It is all fate. Just then, several nobles' canopied carriages passed by, with countless escorts, drawing side glances from many people. Summonon said, Prince Jing has entered the capital. Liu Mingyi looked up. The wind blew open a corner of the curtain on the most luxurious carriage in the middle, revealing the stunning face of a noble lady. She held a cute baby girl in her arms, and beside her was a handsome prince in a python robe. Liu Mingyi muttered to himself, if only I could be reincarnated into her belly, how great that would be. I glanced indifferently at that familiar-looking little beggar. Our eyes met. He stared at me greedily and couldn't help but call out, Mother. The carriage had already passed him. The curtain fell, never to see each other again in this life.